Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's April 18th, 2024, and it's part 3 of what did I get in the auction at the stamp show. This seems to be going on forever. I guess I'm dragging it out. I don't know, but I got so much stuff, as you can see. It's taking multiple videos to get done, and I won't be done after this one either. So enjoy this part 3, if you will. Now, what I would like to show you is what I got in this binder. So minimum bid at the auction was $5. Everything I got was $5 except for this. This was a whopping $7. So someone outbid me at $6 and I went $7 and I got it at $7. I guess they didn't want to go any higher than that. Well, what is it? It is a US stamp collection. And my father's stamp collection, when it comes to the United States, it's pretty much from about the 1950s to the 1980s or 90s, but around the 80s, I guess, is kind of where he finished up. Or so I'm missing a lot of blank stuff after the late 80s, and I'm missing a lot of stuff in the collection in the 40s and earlier. So when I saw this book, I thought, I think there's some gaps that can be filled from the collection from this. Yeah, sure, there's going to be some duplicates that he does have, but for $7, it was worth the gamble. I haven't gone through it yet in its entirety. I did skim some pages before I bid on it, and I've skimmed some pages just here at the end to see where do I want to start to show you the collection from. And we're going to start at the back page and work our way up. So usually in a stamp collection, that would mean that the most current stamps are at the back. Not entirely this, because this runs by Scott catalog number. So if you use Scott catalogs, you'll know that yes, they start at the earliest number and they work their way up, but special things like revenue stamps or airmail, maybe even some exception stamps with perforations are at the end. And so that's the way this binder is going to work as well. Before I go any further, make sure you like, subscribe, leave positive comments, share with other people, put your notification bell on. Make sure you don't miss on anything else in here. And then future videos we have coming up. I still have to show you the Reader's Digest binders that I got. And there's a box of Canadian stamps and the 10-cent stamps that I got too from the binders. I still have those videos to make. Probably will go until next week, because this weekend there is the car show and there is a post-crossing. Well, I got some post-crossing that I've got to show you that's come in this week, and the stuff that I'm going to send out. I usually have a decorate or show you the cards that I've picked for post-crossing on Sundays. So we have those, and we have the live on Saturday, which I'm going to attempt to do from the car show, so you have a bit different of a background. Yeah, lots of exciting things going on. Well, for now, let's get into the stamps. I think this is going to be the best way to go through the album. You can see here, starts with E6 in the Scott catalog numbers from 1902, 1922. These are all special delivery stamps, airmail stamps. Got some postage due stamps as well. Postage due stamps aren't really all that attractive, are they now? But the airmail special delivery ones are. And here's some more, like that French Revolution one, or the space ones. These are how mail delivery might be in the future. I've seen those stamps before. It says it's a duplicate. It's not a duplicate. See, there is a change in the perforation between those two. Interesting. Here, more airmail. If you like airmail, stay tuned to the future. We're not done talking about it. How are your US collections? Do you collect a lot of US stamps? Are you in the US and maybe it's your only collection that you do? You're probably seeing some stamps that you have in yours. Maybe there's a few that you're missing. The auctions at these monthly stamp shows are becoming my favorite things to do. Really like these airmail stamps. I like how this person has done so much work. Like my father has put all the Scott numbers underneath the ones. You can see which ones are missing. And I can see pages like this just going right into my father's album. idea of how many US stamps are out there. 3,167, and this is not a current stamp. So there are a lot of stamps that are out there that were produced by the United States Postal System. This one is interesting too, that it's a variation. You can see in the perforations how it differs. So someone might collect one stamp and not notice that there's two that are similar. And even giving details about what the mini sheets are about. Big bands in this case. And it's nice that there are full blocks of things too. They all appear to be used stamps, which is all right, because that's what my father collected. Nice flowers. James Dean. There's quite the theme. There's some Christmas stamps. Automotive series. Good old Popeye, but all the different cartoons you would see in the newspapers. Not that anybody gets newspapers anymore, or hardly anyone. This looks like he probably had some of the other stamps, and they were taken out before this went to auction. Lighthouse series, lots of people collect lighthouses. Oh, those are beautiful, the horses. Or carousel horses, perhaps. Canada put out some carousel horses last year. Really interesting designs. And some of the small ones, these are the G stamps. So government issue stamps. And the flags. And the variety of loved ones with the cherubs. The person who made this collection certainly went to trying to get everything. You can see that one talking about being a coil stamp. Self-adhesive ones. A booklet like this, I may just put right in the collection. I may not try to transfer stamps over. I like how the fact that he's done all the work and put all the details into it. Nice train stamps, I like that. Oh, there's one that's folded over. That happens in pages like this. Ooh, there's a full World Cup 94 souvenir sheet. It feels like it might have had a bit of a... No, I thought maybe it was glued down, but no, it's not. Nice to see some souvenir sheets in here. Wasn't expecting that. There's some nice Olympic stamps. Another whole section that used to be there. I like those greetings ones. Those are cute. Circus. Spaceships. Another Olympics, 92, summer. Birds and flowers. Gems. Nice giraffe stamp there for Smokey. Ooh, nice long neck too on that flamingo. And planets. Pluto, not a planet anymore, but was at the time of these stamps' release. Ah, poor Pluto. More Olympics and Christmas stamps in there. Comedians. Basketball centennial stamp. Christmas. There's an older looking stamp, but not old. All the little stamps. When Canada gets the bad reputation of having a lot of little stamps, and I see this, I realize that lots of countries put out little stamps, whether they're Mations or whether they're US flags or Canadian flags. It's quite a nice Olympic amount of stamps there. So I wonder if other countries do the same. Classic movies. Of course, the more interesting stamps to see are these bigger stamps that have a variety of topics. Dinosaurs, some birds. And I know there are people that collect just the flag stamps, just like they collect the Royal Mail Mations. I don't find them nearly as exciting to look at as like a series of cars would be. Or as a nice I love you in a mailbox. Or the ships, World Stamp Expo. I've got a bunch of these. I think I have a complete set of these thanks to Linda Stamp Gal from Georgia. She sent up a bunch of stamps of all the different states. These are cute. All these well-wishing stamps for different occasions. Explorer stamps. Rug stamps. These are interesting too. I recently got this stamp on an envelope that came. It was nice when people use older stamps to fill out the postage amount. Winter Special Olympic stamp. This is a joint stamp with Canada, so there is another stamp that matches that the Canada Post put out as well. It's Smokey the Bear. More Olympics. Media must enjoy like watching this video with all the Olympics in there. All the balloons reminds me of the Sussex Balloon Festival, which I've done a couple videos on. Alcoholism, you can beat it. 18 cents. I haven't seen that stamp before. I mean, there are a number of these stamps I've never seen before. These, I believe, I have a complete set of too. All the vehicles. These are interesting. I haven't seen these ones before either. The black and white almost. Very cool. Well, the United States has been very good at putting out summer and winter Olympic stamps. Oh, there's a nice souvenir sheet of space exploration. And those of you who like mail or stamps on stamp, there's some nice mail stamps. I mean, they're all mail stamps, but a thematic mail stamp. Some masks. Oh, some owls. Trees. Shawnee in New Zealand and Steve in Australia. There's probably some stamps in here you'd like. Now, they're not mint, so they're not Steve's cup of tea, but the themes are. It's a little sheet again. And another one here that's kind of, you put it in on a, well, because they are angled differently. They're not angled as squares the way they're. It's nice that they've got, I say he, but it could be a she that's put this collection together. The printing, though, is very much like my father's. It's uncanny how much this looks like my father's collection. Nice mailbox. You can see why this video I am just focusing on this collection. There's a lot of stamps in here. I do have a complete collection of the state flags too. So these are duplicates, but I like how they've written in the names of all the states they were missing. Nice big space stamps. Set over here. It's nice when a block creates a larger image. If you put all 4 stamps together, you can see what happens. Then the postal process. Like those stamps. I've seen those before, and people know that I like postal stamps, so they put them on their envelopes as well. I like that. There's another block of 4 that make up a coastal scene. A stamp collecting stamp. You see themes like save our water and soil and things like that we're still talking about now, and this is 50 years later or more. I guess this is 1969, so it's more. Nice that they've put the years in on some of the pages too to kind of gauge when these stamps came out. There's one for Finland. Independence. Oh, there's another one that was a Canada-US joint stamp. Nations. We're now in the early 60s with this collection. For the most part, the stamp's quality looks pretty good too. Rips and tears in them. Of course, they're all hinged. That was the way you did it back then. You don't see them nearly as much anymore in newer collection. People don't put them on hinges. Another one that was Canada-US combination stamp, the St. Lawrence Seaway. There's a stamp that's come off of it. A little gouge taken out of it. We're in 1954. These were the stamps that I was more interested in, even though I found some real gems now looking through it in the other ones. But these were the sort of stamps that weren't in my father's collection. I mean, he might have had a few of these ones, but the page is coming up here in a minute. He didn't. There's a sheet was all by itself, just loose in there. this generation of postage. The artwork is just incredible. Just the detail that are in some of these stamps. Even look down at the building and the brickwork on it. Incredible. You can see we've gone from numbers that were in the 3000s or 4000s, and now we're under 1,000. Consider I only paid $7 Canadian for all of this. Even if I had paid 10 cents a stamp, I would have paid more than $7 for all of this. But if you're looking at the numbers now, the Scott numbers, they are starting to get smaller. 1937, these stamps came out. Yellowstone, beautiful. Guys are erupting. Feel free to pause the video too at any point if there's a stamp you want to really look at or compare it to something that you might have in your collection or you're missing. Pages are missing quite a few as we get newer or younger and younger. 1932. Nice, really nice cancellation on the New York one. Perforations or the markings through the stamp. $1926. Stamp 246, Scott number. This is 1893. 1898. Look at that stamp. A36 from 1861. To me, this is a steal of the auction that I got, for my collection at least. You get all these older stamps for such a low price. And that is it. That is page one. Once again, stamp collecting doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. You can find bargains like this at any stamp show or fair. I'm sure not every town and community has such an event. I know I'm fortunate enough that once a month we have this event, and that our group is small enough too that I can pick up these things cheaply, that I'm not having bidding wars with a bunch of people. If this was a national event and there were hundreds or thousands of people going through, I'm sure people would be bidding up the auction quite a bit. I have an auction, there's 30 people that are there. There are, I don't know, 80 things on the table to bid on. Not everybody's bidding against you. And people too, which is can be bad for the people that put it in, but people know what they collect, and sometimes they're friends and stuff, so they don't bid on an item because they know their friend would probably want to have that instead. So that's kind of the small town community. And I say small town, I'm 130,000 people that live here, but to me that's a small town compared to some of the cities that you guys live in that are multi-million inhabitants. So we kind of have that small town get-together atmosphere of helping each other out, and it worked in my favor once again to have this collection and some of the other things that I've shown you in the other videos too. Well, I better not drag it on any further. It's great, but there are other videos that I'm going to have to shoot to show you what else I got, including what I got in the 10-cent bag. That one's going to come up, and I've got to sort that. And the Reader's Digest books, I can't wait to show you those. Those are probably going to be videos for next week, though, like I've said, because we are approaching the weekend, and I've got lots of weekend videos to keep you entertained with as well. Don't forget about the giveaway that's going on. You're going to have to go back a couple videos to the very first part 1 of this and put in your entry if you want to be a part of it. So make sure you look for the stamp auction part 1 and enter for the giveaway. All right, that's it for now. Have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.